Welcome back to the Neurobane newsletter. In the month of June, we created a simple logistical regression algorithm that took in 1,300 psychiatric EEG brain scans, and it could diagnose rates of addiction, mood, and trauma-related disorders with rates above 70% compared to the current 35 to 55% traditional rate. And so I wanted to spend the month of July creating a deep learning model to see if we could make an even more accurate model. The problem being is that deep learning models require a lot of data to use their full potential, and 1,300 brain scans, 1,300 data points of anything is not enough for a deep learning model. And so my expectations going into this project for this month was that the model was going to overfit hard, and that's exactly what happened. So we decided, well, we didn't decide, but we had to use an MLP, a multi-layer perceptron model, because the data is, it's data we source from academics. It's been pre-processed, it's tabular, it's not live. If it was live, we'd be using an RNN rather than an MLP. But since it is tabular and it's static, we're using an MLP. It's fine, whatever. Still deep learning, still has hidden layers. The model ended up having accuracy rates similar to the simple machine learning algorithm that we made last month, in the month of June, but it was a bit lower, around the 65% rather than the 75% that we had in the ML algorithm. The problem was that the precision and recall rates were incredibly low for the deep learning model, at 20% compared to the 70% for the ML model. So having a low precision and recall rate shows us that the model overfit hard. So it was pretty much categorizing. It was giving us too many false positives. It was pretty much saying that healthy controls were addicts, healthy controls had depression, and these sorts of things, which is fine. It was expected, but I'm glad I was able to spend this month getting my hands dirty, because this is the first time I built a deep learning model around a huge data set like this. Well, huge for me at least, but going forward, this just shows me that we're going to need multi-site trials, be able to collect a lot more data, and definitely, we'll see the deep learning model should be, favorable then. As for the month of August, I want to create a live web app that we can implement our existing logistical regression model into, so that we can have an interface that I can show our current clinicians that have written us letters of intent. Aside from the technical side of things, this month some huge news came through, which is that I was accepted to Antler. Antler is a startup accelerator founder-residency like program similar to YC or Techstars, and it's pre-investment, so you spend 8 weeks from the start of October building up your startup, getting one-on-one coaching and mentorship from investors and exited successful startup founders. At the end of the 8 weeks, you get to pitch to their investment community for the chance to raise $200,000 at 8%. And so once you do raise the round, you are invited to the next stage of their program, which is another 8 weeks. You get the same one-on-one coaching, but at the end of those 8 weeks, you get the chance to pitch to the investors in their network and raise a much more substantial round. And so I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to Antler. I'm sure I'm going to learn a ton, and I'm going to grow a lot, not only myself, but also Neurobane. Aside from getting into Antler, this month we started to raise our $575,000 pre-seed, which is probably a bad idea considering it's the summertime and most VCs are out, but surprisingly, we've gotten quite a bit of meetings. So the whole don't try and raise in the summer thing is, it hasn't really affected us that much. The $575,000 that we hope to raise in this pre-seed round would help us initiate our clinical trial and get through it, last us for 12 to 18 months, and help us integrate into clinical settings. And of course, we'd be using this money alongside government grants, so the SBIR Phase 1 grant, alongside university partnerships to have access to neuroscience labs. Of course, if the investment doesn't go through, it's fine, because we'll just be utilizing government grants a lot more and getting to seed stage metrics to then use those metrics to raise a pre-seed, which seems to be the best idea considering that regardless of having a working proof of concept, a 19-page detailed IP report, more than 20 letters of intent, university partnerships in the works, more than capable team and advisory board, at the end of the day, I'm still an 18-year-old trying to start a medical diagnostic startup. Then what does that mean? FDA. It means FDA. Investors don't like hearing FDA. And I understand it's not a big deal. I get it. It's fine. But at the end of the day, I want to solve this problem with whatever it takes, so I'm not going to give up. So yeah, that being said, I'll see you guys next month.